Hello, this is Brian. Today is Tuesday, February 21st, 2023, and I'm here along the Iron Mountain Trail in the vicinity of Poway, San Diego County, and it's time for a special edition of Spotlight on Shrubs. Today's spotlight is on something I've been wanting to find for years and have found it along here on the Iron Mountain Trail. Here we have the beautiful Southern Mountain Misery, or Southern Bearclover. This is Chamaebatia australis, a beautiful mountain misery. So I will get into why we call it mountain misery momentarily, but it's not for its form, that's for sure. So what we have here is an evergreen small to medium-sized shrub, generally upright, and it is a member of the rose family, the Rosaceae. So here we have the Southern Mountain Misery, also known as Southern Bearclover. The name australis is from Latin meaning southern or southerly, denoting this plant's southern range here in California. And this is a rare endemic species. Again, one plant I've been trying to find for years, and I finally found the right trail at the right time. So the Southern Mountain Misery, as you can see here, kind of has fern-shaped bipinnately compound leaves. In other words, it's twice divided, so what you see here is me holding an entire leaf. So it's divided into pinnae, or feather-shaped leaflets, but it's twice divided. So you see here, the leaves start off very bright green, and then they become more of an olive green when they're mature. And let's not forget about the beautiful white flowers. So here we have these beautiful 5-petaled, simple white flowers that are blooming here in mid to late February, creating a very beautiful scene up here. We're in a very small population. This population doesn't extend very far on the trail. I'd say maybe about 1.25 miles from Highway 67 up the Iron Mountain Trail is where you'll find this very rare species right here. So this plant is mostly endemic to San Diego County in northern Baja California. However, it has been reported that there is an outlying population in the Santa Monica Mountains, I believe either in Los Angeles or Ventura Counties. So there's supposed to be a small population up in the Santa Monica range. But this plant here, the mountain misery, the name mountain misery refers to the very strong hazelnut aroma that this plant carries in its essential oils. And if you feel the leaves are very glandular, kind of rough textured, and they have a hazelnut aroma. Now, I've done a video on a very closely related Sierra Bearclover, or Sierra Mountain Misery, Chamaebatia foliolosa, up in the Greenhorn Mountains in Kern County, which is a very close relative of this one. Funny is, I would find that plant living 3 to 4 times as far away from that than I would finding a much closer relative. But if you pass by this plant, groves of these plants, you can smell a kind of a rich hazelnutty aroma. Sometimes it can be overpowering, especially on the Chamaebatia foliolosa, the one in the Sierras, the west slope of the Sierra Nevada and Kern County, Tulare County, points north. This also has a very similar, almost synonymous aroma. And again, just like the Sierra Bearclover or Sierra Mountain Misery, the leaves are ferny. Now, there's a small population along this trail, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to cut out until I reach the next few plants. And then I'm going to get a few pictures, some more up close of these beautiful plants, and then I will resume why it's called mountain misery. let's go ahead and discuss why we're calling this mountain misery, both this species and the Sierra species. I mentioned that it has a very strong witch hazel-like aroma to it. So when you get it all over your clothes or on your skin, the scent is going to stick with you and it's going to take some effort to wash out. It's a very strong, very potent aroma. Now, to my knowledge, it doesn't cause any reactions. I haven't heard anything about that, so I wouldn't be too worried about touching it. But if the smell's a little too much for you, if it's too strong, then you might not want to touch it too much. But it does, again, have a very nice hazelnut-like aroma. So, but when it's in mass, it might become a little overpowering. So maybe that could be a reason why this one and the Sierra species are called mountain misery, because it might get a little irritating after a while if it's so strong. But I think it's a pleasant smell. It's a very, very earthy smell, very pleasant in my opinion. But it can be overwhelming, especially when you're going by huge patches of it. It doesn't really. It seems like the Sierra one seems to be more potent, because I'm here and I don't really smell it too much until I get right next to the shrub. So I think the Sierra one might be more resinous than this one. But now we're going to talk about some of the other features of this plant. So when these flowers get done, they turn into these little seeds. I believe they're called achenes, A-C-H-E-N-E-S. And then I don't believe that this plant would be easy to germinate, in my opinion. Probably would require fire scarification or some other means. I'm pretty sure this plant is a resprouter and also probably more likely to germinate after it. But here's a seedling right here. So again, I'm not 100% sure about that, but this is a seedling Chamaebatia australis. This is an absolutely beautiful shrub here. And again, those white flowers definitely give away its affinity with the rose family. Absolutely beautiful shrub. Very, very happy to finally come across this plant. I know I've talked about coming across it and failing many times, but again, just look at it. It's a beautiful ferny foliage, and then we get this beautiful gray smooth bark. Beautiful gray smooth bark. Again, another indication of its affinity with the Rosaceae. So there you have it. Beautiful southern mountain misery. Now I'm going to go ahead and hike a little bit more down, and then we'll go ahead and get some more footage of this plant before I end the video. There we are, hiking along these beautiful Chamaebatia australis. I guess I'm not sure exactly what the name Bearclover refers to. Maybe it's maybe bears like it, I don't know, but it's a very beautiful shrub here. Just can't get enough of looking at these. These are much taller than the Sierra Nevada, the Chamaebatia foliolosa. Those ones are more ground cover shrubs. These ones are definitely much more upright. So there are places here in San Diego County where you're going to be able to see this shrub, probably in larger population than you do here. Places like San Miguel Mountain, Otay Mountain, Tecate Peak, or they're also called Cuchama, over near Tecate, the border. Those are places where you're going to find this plant, and some other scattered places here in San Diego County. I believe near San Marcos, either the Merriam or San Marcos Mountains, I think has a population of Chamaebatia australis as well. But it's just such a beautiful shrub, and it's just so awesome to see here. Really enjoy coming out here. Beautiful, beautiful small shrub. Really just absolutely awesome. I think we either got seedlings or root sprouts. I think these are root sprouts here because they are shrubs, so they can often sprout from beneath. Chamaebatia australis. My time in enjoying the walk, coming by these shrubs. So Well, I told you some places where you can, other places where you can find it. San Miguel Mountain for the most part is off limits, but if you're near, it's supposed to be found near McGinty Mountain, but I never saw it over there. Near McGinty Mountain. Maybe I just wasn't in the right spot for it, but the reason why they grow where they grow and that they're so scarce is because they typically prefer gabbroic or ultramafic soils. They like that type of soil, and they're kind of endemic to that. So there must be a little piece of it in this area allowing these to grow where they are. There must be a little piece of that soil here. So there must be, I think it's ultramafic or gabbro or something like that. Maybe do a little more research on that and post some text on the screen to that effect. But yeah, here we are. We have a nice little stand here. Again, it's a very small population. Again, you have to come up about 1.25 miles or so up the trail, and you're going to find it in this one spot. And it's a very small area, but you'll see several plants as you go look up the hill. These are all Chamaebatia australis, all mountain miseries, or Southern Bearclovers. So again, they love chaparral. It seems probably north-facing slopes. I'm not sure about south-facing slopes. Again, this is the first time I've ever come across this awesome plant. But I'm sure glad I did. So there you have it. They like that certain type of soil. So there you go. Once again, Chamaebatia australis, Southern Bearclover or Southern Mountain Misery, member of the rose family. That will do it for my Spotlight on Shrubs video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another episode.